The Miami Heat have clinched the 2022 NBA playoffs. So on this channel, this means one thing and one thing only. I am going to be giving them a playoff profile. This is my fourth playoff profile, and I'm not going to explain what it is in every single video. So if you don't know what playoff profile is, click the link in the description. It'll lead you to the playlist, and in other playoff profiles, I explain what this series is. So let's get started with this video. So the Miami Heat are the best team in the Eastern Conference with a record of 50-28. They're the only team that has over 50 wins in the Eastern Conference, and they've kind of been in control, always had that first seed for a majority of the regular season, but it's always been really close. Teams have been one game behind them at times, or sometimes even half a game behind them. It's always been really close competition. And that's the thing with the Eastern Conference. It's all super close. The standings are always changing in a matter of just 1 or 2 games. It's always changing. It's always fluctuating. And it's going to be very interesting to see if the Heat can keep this 1 seed. The thing that's very interesting about this Miami Heat team is a lot of people are hating on them. The Heat started off very good. They were the 1 seed just like they are now, and they were a very good team. They looked like the perfect team with no weaknesses. You had Jimmy Butler, who was the star of the team. He was putting up a near triple-double. He was so good, so impactful, very good on the defensive end of the floor, and could pretty much just do anything. You had Bam Adebayo, who missed the first little bit of the season, but once he came back, he became a borderline all-star center for them, getting blocks all the time, being a very good big man. They also had Kyle Lowry, a new addition. He is just a veteran, kind of there to just help mentor their younger players because they do have some young players. He's there to be the leader on the court, be the floor general, be the facilitator. He was a very good addition to this team. You also have Tyler Hero, who's a 6th Man of the Year candidate and at one point was the Heat's leading scorer. All this with a lot of injuries. The team was never healthy. So the fact that they could succeed while injured was very impressive to many people, including myself, all under an amazing coach, arguably coach of the year in Erik Spoelstra. This team was very good and they looked like they had no weaknesses. They had an amazing offense and an amazing defense. They were one of the best two-way teams in the entire NBA. But as of late, they've been losing a lot more games. Stars like Jimmy Butler have not been performing, and they've gotten a lot of hate. A lot of people see them as first or second round exits. And just like in a matter of days, it seems, people forget how good this team actually was when they were hot. They're only 5-5 in their last 10, which I agree isn't very good. But they've managed to maintain the 1 seed. So now we're moving on to the segment of how I think they can do. I think the media is making it out to be a lot worse than people think. Or a lot worse than they actually are going to do. Like I said, you got an amazing offense and you have an amazing defense. They're one of the best two-way teams in the entire NBA. They also have a lot of chemistry and they just have a winning culture. They have like the next man up mentality, so even when someone's injured, they can perform still as a team. So I can personally, I can definitely see this team going to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's really not out of the realm of possibility. They're not guaranteed not doing anything. Eastern Conference Finals and NBA Finals is still potentially can happen for them. However, I am going to admit that they have been struggling recently. Jimmy Butler has not been himself, been a very inefficient outside scorer from the mid-range and three-point area. I don't know, to me it seems like the team's defense has also been off. So I think that if they play like how they've been playing now in the playoffs, I think they definitely will lose in the second round. But the question is, will they be playing like this in the second round? The Heat are just coming off a very embarrassing first round exit last year. They got swept in Milwaukee. All the games except for game 1 were blowouts. So we've seen that this team can definitely choke in the playoffs. But from my standpoint, I don't know, I'm always very high on the Miami Heat. I don't think they're going to be playing this bad come playoff time. So if you want my opinion, I think they're going to be back to how they were at the start of the season. Playing like a team, playing very aggressive defense, shooters getting open for shots, and actually hitting the shots. They have a great leader in Kyle Lowry. I think Jimmy Butler's going to come back in the playoffs, and he's going to surprise a lot of people. And if they can stay healthy, we've seen that they have lots of depth. So my final opinion, call me crazy, I think that the Heat are going to come back in the playoffs looking like an elite Eastern Conference team. And every team is good in the Eastern Conference, so the door is open. So you know what? Call me crazy, but the Miami Heat ceiling is the NBA Finals. Definitely possible. People forget how good they were early on in the season. And I think they're definitely going to go back to that stage. However, my floor is a first round exit. It's really that interchangeable for the Miami Heat. If they go up against the Brooklyn Nets in the first round, for example, they can steamroll them, but just as easily, I can see them losing. We really do not know with this team, so it's really tough to choose. But that's my final opinion. I think this team's gonna be back. So that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe and comment down below how you think the Miami Heat are gonna do. I think there's a lot of split opinions between them, and I'll see you in the next video.